believe we have Stephen Coder. You have control of your mic. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, and good evening to everybody. Stephen Coder here. So good evening, President Haynes, Vice President Costa, members of the board, Chancellor Oakley, and the staff that are on this call, and all the guests that are here also. First, I just want to commend the Chancellor's staff and really the rest of the system for continuing to raise their voice, the students, the faculty, the staff, the administration, that are out there, because really, if it wasn't for the continuous advocacy on behalf of everyone within the system, I don't think the budget would look like it does. And we are very excited to see such a student-centered budget. So I just want to thank everybody for all of their hard work there. I also too, I echo what Larry just said in his previous comment. These are, I think our fight now is to turn these one-time funds into ongoing funding to make sure that our students are supported and really on track to success with all of the other things that we have going on with AB 705 and guided pathways. And we're really trying to put them onto a path for success. Now, to get them the funding that they need, year after year instead of one-time funding would be great. The other thing that I just want to really call out is on the legislative priorities. As you heard earlier, I just want to thank the governmental relations team for working with the Student Senate at getting the student leadership into the legislative priorities. I want to really commend our student leader, Colin Fitzgerald, and Yulia Tarasova, for their continued work on the board. Colin has been a huge support of students, and a lot of our advocacy cannot be done without his help. We echo some of the same, I guess, concerns, but we really want to empower the student voice, and we really want to see members of the system really back the student voice, and that does come down to student enfranchisement within our system. So we look forward to having those discussions with with the faculty, with the staff, the administration, with trustees, and with the Board of Governors. So we really look forward to that in the upcoming year. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is it for public comment.
Thank you so much. I want to tell everyone what the time it's 4:35. We have 6.5, and then we have board reports. So that 6.5 is participatory governance handbook and statewide engagement. Presenting this is Deputy Chancellor Gonzalez, and the co-presenter will be Executive Vice Chancellor Alvarado.
Thank you, President Haynes. And we realize that we stand between your board reports, your public forum, as well as your pre-parties for the inauguration. So we will only take up 7 minutes. We have 5 slides. I want to begin with just some overarching comments around the journey that our office took since you asked us to begin this work 15 months ago. Yes, 15 months ago. I want to thank President Epstein at the time for really challenging us and really asking, why do you have 47 statewide advisories? How are they advancing the vision for success? And how are you uplifting the student voice in those structures that you have? So we started this work 15 months ago, and we've learned 3 key things that I want to share with you before I walk through the PowerPoint slides. First, this informational item really helped us document the structures and the processes that we have as we begin to engage our statewide stakeholders. So I want to thank you for allowing us the time to put together a handbook. It is the first handbook that our office has, and it has been instrumental as we instruct 9 different divisions in this agency to think about how they can eliminate silos and begin to integrate conversations to solve historic long-standing problems for our system. The second thing that we learned is, much like at a community college campus, this is very political work. It is very difficult work that requires engaging a lot of different groups. So I want to just highlight that this was challenging work for our team. It was very political. And we continue to seek new ways to communicate better with our stakeholders and to improve. So we know that this is a long journey for our office. And then lastly, one key realization that our office was a part of the dysfunction. Our structures inherently created inequitable structures, both in two ways: in perpetuating silos by having stakeholders meet only amongst themselves and not including other voices, as well as excluding the student voice. So I want to thank you for asking us to begin this work. And as I go through the slides, I only have 6 of them. I'll highlight where I think that we have done this work effectively and where those next steps are. And then I will hand it over to Executive Vice Chancellor Alvarado, because she has 67% of all statewide working groups in her division, 67%. So I want to just, next slide, please, start off by saying that working groups in this case refers to any advisory, task force, committee, they all have different names. But for the purpose of our conversation in this handbook, we decided to just call them statewide working groups. Why? Because we want everyone to get to work in service of the vision for success. So I've already highlighted that we began this work in August of 2018. In November of 2019, we provided you with an update, and you were very clear that you wanted more information across 3 key things. The first was a defined charter, specific goals for each statewide working group for the 2020 and 2021 year, as well as for our office to really rethink the membership and the structures of these groups, and then to figure out how we can integrate it in support of our statewide budget and advocacy priorities. So that's what we believe that we have done with this handbook effectively. Next slide, please. That journey from 47 statewide working groups in August of 2018 led us to November of 2019, where we went to 36 statewide working groups. And a lot of that was duplication. We had 4 different committees for one topic, 3 in another one, and individuals were having isolated conversations around the same topic. It not only saved us staff time, but it made us better stewards of public dollars for the state of California. Most recently, if you look at the item, you will see that there are 6 additional working groups that have been identified to be duplicative or have been either integrated or they have become informal. So we list those 6, and I've asked Executive Vice Chancellor Alvarado to highlight why we decided to head in this direction, and she will cover that at the end of the presentation. And then this handbook, of course, does not include category C. You were very clear in what you wanted us to do. You wanted us to integrate the vision for success. In that early version that we presented to you, we included all working groups, including the ones where we partner with an association to convene it. Those were a category that we weren't leading, we weren't convening them. So we couldn't integrate the vision for success. They have become now informal. Our staff attends those meetings, we provide updates, we seek ways to partner, but they are not convened by this office and they are not required by legislation or regulation. And so that's the other reason why you saw the reduction in the number of working groups. Next slide, please. So what are we providing you with this update? We now have 21 statewide working groups. Over 450 stakeholders are engaged as official representatives, and there are some vacancies. So I want to highlight, that's why it says over 450. 67% of those statewide working groups are in our Educational Services and Supports Division. 17 out of 21 statewide working groups currently include a student representative that is appointed by the Student Senate. And out of the 4 that currently do not have a student representative, 2 are already evaluating ways to add students to their charter. Next slide, please. This work is ongoing, and I want you to think about that handbook as a work in progress, certainly since it is the first version, but there is some clear work that our office identified across the 9 divisions. The first is that we need an annual onboarding process for all statewide working group participants. And this is key, especially as we are trying to accomplish specific goals for each of those groups and asking each stakeholder to advance the vision for success. We also need targeted onboarding in partnership with the Student Senate to advance and ensure that students are being integrated and engaged with intentionally and effectively. 3, we also need to effectively train all of our co-chairs. This is key, right? Not every committee that is in this handbook is chaired by our office. So we need to ensure that they're receiving proper training. Let me just give you an example of what we mean by that. We can't just include students and not elevate their voices, right? We have to pause in the middle of a meeting and say, let's ask the student to speak on their behalf. Is there a student perspective? And then 4, we want to continue to measure the goals that we've set. Each of these working groups have set specific goals. We want to measure them and we want to make it public, either through a board item or just an annual update. And then lastly, we want to continue to have conversations around our existing working groups, the structures and the membership. We acknowledge now that we have published a handbook. There will be a lot more stakeholders who will want to be engaged. And so we see that as a part of our ongoing work. And then my last slide, the next steps for this specific handbook. Next slide, please. Thank you. The last slide summarizes just what happens with this document and how will we ensure that we stay on top of the work that you've asked us to do. The first is that we will annually update this handbook. There's a lot of room to grow and a lot of progress. One of those areas is how we use this handbook to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. As you saw from the handbook, we engage with a lot of associations. They make the appointments of our stakeholders. One of the key things that we want to make sure that we are measuring is that we are documenting demographics, that we are engaging all across the state, different regions, different types of colleges, multi-college, single college districts. So there's an analysis that needs to take place so that this office can continue to make improvements. And then lastly, we do want to acknowledge this was not in the handbook, but this handbook will likely change and look different in 21-22. And that's because there's a series of workload that has been identified either by this board or legislation that may require new statewide working groups to be convened. And I highlight just 4 in this slide. The first is our student basic needs resolution. The second piece is campus policing and policing reform. Transfer, as you heard the chancellor at the beginning of this meeting say, that will be a key piece of legislation and interest, and that will not end in 2021. And then lastly, the piece on anti-racism curriculum and alignment. We'll have to figure out how it integrates with our existing working groups or if it requires any new structures to be created. So with that, I want to hand it over to Executive Vice Chancellor Alvarado to walk us through key changes. And then as we're envisioning this new workload, I want her to speak on that as well.
Great. Thank you, Deputy Chancellor. What I want to highlight here that was presented in this item in your package is that there were 6 committees that were suspended and or discontinued, eliminated or consolidated, or discontinued. And 3 of the 6 come from the Ed Services Division. We have the CalWORK State Advisory Committee, the Disabled Student Programs and Services Regional Coordinators Committee, and the Guided Self-Placement Work Group. As our team in Ed Services looked across the board at the 17+ committees that we currently manage, as the Deputy Chancellor indicated, we looked for duplications, and then next we looked for where are there clear deliverables of work that need to take place that require the capacity of our division immediately. And so we are focusing activities there while we also work with stakeholder groups who have been, whose committees have been discontinued to understand how we better integrate those voices across across statewide committees. For example, in curriculum committee, in our distance education committee, and in our student equity committee, really trying to understand how we embed the voices so that we're having cross-pollination of conversations, diverse perspectives, and looking at student supports holistically. So, these are difficult decisions. They are difficult conversations to have with stakeholders. One of the lessons learned, as our Deputy Chancellor noted, is that we need to, we have some work to do on being much more explicit and consistent in our messaging with our stakeholders. I want to point to some recent conversations that happened even just this morning, continuing the conversations and some scheduled for tomorrow with our disabled students population community. This is a critical component for our students, particularly as we think about what's transpired relative to COVID-19 and the transition to fully online. I know we've brought many issues forward around ensuring that we are effectively serving our students with different abilities, and this is a priority area for us. We will continue the conversations with these stakeholder groups, and in particular with our disabled student program, disabled students programs and services, excuse me, DSPS. We will continue those conversations to ensure that we are having not only regular communications, but also thinking about what this evolving structure looks like. I do want to point to the work forward. As we think about the direction that you all have set for us relative to aligning to and ensuring we're advancing the vision for success, and thinking about the student-centered framework that is inherent in the guided pathways framework. We really have to think about what is the work of each committee, what are the outcomes that each committee is going to accomplish, and how are those being set, really elevating the student friction points as the driver for the work of these committees. So moving forward throughout this work and moving forward, that's our goal as we really think about structuring of the committees in general and the evolution of committees. And so I do want to emphasize, while we may be sunsetting some, I anticipate that new will be emerging, and then different compositions of the groups will be emerging to ensure that we have student voice and we have a diversity of perspective that is attending to students holistically, the student needs holistically. So we appreciate the board's support in this effort. We also really appreciate our stakeholders coming forward and sharing with us their passion for the students they serve, the needs that our students have that we need to be attending to, and helping us continue to improve to do better with our communication and support of our stakeholder groups. So with that, I will hand it back to the Deputy Chancellor.
No, thank you, President Haynes. That concludes our presentation. You have 2 hands up during public comment period, and we are happy to answer any questions board members may have.
Thank you so much for that presentation. And before we go to comments, I just want to thank Tom for his leadership in looking at the number of work groups and saying, why do we have so many? Because it gave us time to, it gave you chance to look at them and say, are they valid? Are they not valid? Do we need to do some realignment? And so work well done. Thank you so much. I have board member Tarasova with her hand up.
Thank you, Madam President. I do have a comment as well as a question. I wanted to thank the Chancellor's Office for putting this incredible amount of work into creating this handbook for the board's reference. And I'm pleased to see that 17 out of 21 committees do have students on it. In particular, I'm really looking forward to the transfer in basic needs work groups in the future. As a student leader, I know how crucial it is to receive adequate training prior to joining the committee's discussions in order to have meaningful participation. Therefore, I want to applaud the efforts in including and empowering the student voice throughout the conversations. As we continue to work towards diversity, equity, and inclusion across the state, one of the observations as I was reviewing the handbook was the composition of the boards and the disproportionate amount of students on the most of the boards, especially those who have over 20 members. Therefore, my question would be, is there a specific language about having only one student per committee? Or if so, if it can be considered to be changed to at least one student, which will aid the progress of DEI work in the participatory governance?
Thank you. That is an excellent question. Marty, feel free to chime in. What I will say is no, there's no specific language on there. I think this conversation started like an avalanche for all of our statewide working groups about were students included. I wish I had the data in front of me, but the majority did not have student representation. So in creating this handbook, it created the avalanche of why not? And then we created the formal processes to include students. So I do think the next steps is thinking about that proportionality, ensuring that students are being intentionally added, and that means more than one. And then thinking very strategically, we do have one committee in the handbook that is co-chaired by a student, and asking the why not, right? Why not? If we have 21 and only one is co-chaired by a student, and that's our DTAC committee, a critical committee during COVID-19, we should be asking those questions. So thank you. I will take that back to the team. And Marty, if there's anything you would like to add.
I think the only other thing I would like to add that we are attentive to here is that when we finally looked at the whole, we were able to elevate patterns much more effectively and where those gaps are. And so that was really the first critical step. As we think about expanding student voice on committees, we want to make sure that they are supported. And so I want to also give a big thank you to the Student Senate, who we've been in conversations with to ensure that we have effective onboarding, effective training, and effective support for students who are participating in these committees, particularly as we expand student voice. We want that voice not to just be, a token in the room, but actually be able to meaningfully engage. I think the other thing is that we also have to ensure that we have training for our staff so that they are actively supporting students, and we are actively and effectively facilitating meetings to ensure equitable distribution of airtime and well-designed meetings. So we're trying to think about and put in place all of the components. It's a lot of work, which is the good work, but it's more to come on it, and we recognize that this is where we need to be headed.
Thank you. I see Combs' hand. Is there anyone else that I'm not? Okay, we have Tom. So Comb, and I want to alert us to the time. It's 4:54. So Comb, you're next, and then Tom.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll try to be brief. We obviously understand that the Chancellor's Office obviously understands that the student perspective is a critical tool in trying to address many of the problems that are coming up right now, and that's why this perspective on these participatory governance committees are critical. And that's why I think the Chancellor's Office and the Board of Governors have completely, modeled to a certain extent what including the student perspective in a kind of a participatory governance structure looks like. The challenge becomes, actually getting in the ground level. Right now, the way that most of the kind of appointments are, the way that students are mostly found is through the Student Senate for California Community Colleges. But the Student Senate for California Community Colleges reach is only so far. As most of us know, there's a bit of a bumpy history as well with the Student Senate. And so there are very many advisors who just completely block off their institution from the Student Senate. And so my question to either the Deputy Chancellor or whoever might answer it, whether it be Marty, is how can the Chancellor's Office incentivize student participation in these committees to create a bigger reach past beyond the Student Senate, whether it helped the Student Senate do that or whether it developed just on its own? How can we get students on the ground level, the students whose stories are most impactful, whose perspectives are most impactful, and many times in committees like Basic Needs and these type of stuff, who may not have the resources to participate effectively in a participatory governance setting without a little extra incentive or help? How can we attract and get those students to provide their perspective?
Thank you for that question, Board Member Fitzgerald. I just want to acknowledge that there are two groups, as was summarized in your item, that have very specific language that this board recognize their role in this system. And one of them is the Academic Senate for California Community Colleges, and the other one is the Student Senate. So just want to call it out there that this board has a very unique relationship, and that appointments are clearly in that language supposed to be working through those two groups. Now, with that said, I do think that the Student Senate recognizes, and they have been working actively for more than a year and a half to think about how they expand their reach. We would be open to continue to have those conversations with them. Two clear things come to mind when you ask that question. One of them is our system webinars. The other ones are just the continued calls that we get from students, and know that we respond. That's probably our favorite part of the job, responding to emails, hearing their stories. And we think creatively and uniquely about how we bring those voices in, even if it means reaching out to the Student Senate and saying, hey, we need this type of student and we found one. can you reach out and is it possible that they might be your appointment? But it is a very unique relationship that we have with the Student Senate and the Academic Senate. Marty, anything you'd like to add?
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Tom?
I guess I deserve the last word since I got the first word on this one. I just want to thank Deputy Chancellor Gonzalez for following through. I know this wasn't easy. Hopefully it was more diplomacy than politics that got you through it. You know, I really like the structure. I like the fact that, that there are, you know, there's a strategy behind it. There are criteria, there's accountability. I think that all works great. And I hope it results in less work for you. I have a couple of comments just briefly. Is the one thing that as I read through the 77 pages of committees, I didn't see any specific call out on online instruction. And I think in light of the circumstances, I hope it, you know, I'm not saying form a committee, but I hope that one of the other committees or more than one of the other committees is thinking about that. And just one last tidbit would be that if you are going to have to create new committees, as you said there at the end, you ought to think about whether or not the existing committees can absorb that, or if one can be transitioned out, so you don't start this process of committee creep again and end up with just as many as you started with. So with that, very good work.
Any comments from Daisy or Marty?
No, just thank you for this challenge. And I think as you're going to have 4 hands and maybe even more during the public comment, just want to thank the board for trusting our staff in continuing this work. It will be a long-term project. There's room for improvement, and we look forward to that work in service of the vision for success and being a lot more effective as a small but mighty team.
Thank you so much. We are almost at 5 o'clock, but I know I need to ask about whether or not there's public comment.
Public comment period for this item is now open. Please use the raise hand feature in Zoom to make a comment to the board. If you are calling into the meeting, use *9 to activate the raise hand feature. A member of the Chancellor's office will call on you and allow you to speak your public comment. You have a maximum of 3 minutes.
So first up, we have Debbie Klein. You have control of your microphone, and go ahead.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon again, President Haynes, Vice President Costa, Chancellor Oakley, and members of the Board of Governors. This is Debbie, President of the Faculty Association of California Community Colleges. We appreciate the Chancellor's Office explanation regarding the omission of certain groups, including the long-standing Disabled Students Programs and Services Regional Coordinators Advisory Group. FAC would like to bring to your attention that the DSPS community is very concerned that the DSPS advisory group has been eliminated. DSPS leaders are worried that without an advisory group, DSPS will lose their voice and support. It should go without saying that appropriate representation of our students with disabilities is essential to the systemic changes being implemented through the lens of diversity, equity, and inclusion. FAC is looking forward to working with the statewide Senate and the Chancellor's Office to help ensure that the DSPS RC advisory group remains active. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Bree Kennedy. You have control of your microphone. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, board members, Chancellor, and members of the public. My name is Bree Kennedy, and I'm the DSPS Chair and Coordinator at San Diego City College and DSPS Regional Representative for the Region E. I understand that this is a presentation of an artifact by the Chancellor's Office and is presented as an information item. Although I do appreciate swift reactive communication in the 11th hour over the weekend and this morning to re-engage after many concerns were raised regarding this news. I am here to illuminate that there was no consultation with Disability Support Programs and Services regional coordinators or DSPS field prior to the decision by the Chancellor's Office to dissolve this group that has existed since the creation of DSPS programs. DSPS regional coordinators in our field have not been provided the opportunity to explain to the Chancellor's Office the specific tasks and work that help support and further the Vision for Success goals, nor have we been asked to do this. The DSPS program assists in implementing federal civil rights laws with mandated services. This work is focused and intentional on ensuring that students with disabilities have access and are able to experience full inclusion in and benefits of the community college system. No other Chancellor's Office shared governance group has these mandates, yet they were given the opportunity to provide voice, input, and remain. I am illuminating this oversight and asking for the Chancellor's Office to engage in shared consultation with the regional coordinators and the DSPS field and allow the opportunity to clarify the work that this governance group provides. In addition, I'm asking the Chancellor's Office to revise the artifact presented to include this group back into the shared governance structure following the clarification. It is critical to our programs, but most importantly, the students that we serve. The vision is to the point, making sure students from all backgrounds, including students with disabilities, and recognizing the impact of the intersectionality of disability and other marginalized identities, and making sure they succeed in reaching their goals and improving their families and communities, eliminating achievement and access gaps once and for all. It is our desire to remain in the governance structure and partner with the Chancellor's Office, students with disabilities, and professionals in the DSPS field in actualizing this vision.
30 seconds.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ardith Lynch. You have control of your microphone. Go ahead.
Mute. Good afternoon, and thank you for allowing me to speak to you. I am Ardith Lynch. I am coordinator for Disabled Student Services at Saddleback College in Orange County. I've been involved in this work most of my life, and it's very important for me to be able to say to you that Disabled Student Services cannot work in a silo and has never worked in a silo. The reason we've been able to achieve the wonderful work that we do is that we work together and we spread ourselves out into the other parts of our colleges and within the Chancellor's systems, AB 705, Student Equity, Academic Senate, all of those committees in order to bring the knowledge of the disabled student. Disabled students are a small population of students compared to the overall population, but have specific needs. And thanks to the ADA and our own educational code, we are able to meet the needs of our students by the fact that we work together and we work outwards with all of our committees. I thank you for listening to this. I ask you to please re-engage with the regional coordinators in the DSPS field so that we can better discern what our how we work together and how we provide work back to this Chancery office. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments.
Next, we have Patty Flores Charter. You have control of your microphone. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, members of the Board of Governors. My name is Patty Flores Charter, a faculty emeritus from Southwestern College with years of experience as a DSPS coordinator, administrative director, and regional coordinator. I'm speaking to this item 6 because it does formally disband our DSPS regional coordinators group, what has been a permanent shared governance advisory group and decision-making body since the creation of our AMS. Again, as Bree said, this has happened without an opportunity for input in an organized and thoughtful way. I have to seriously thank Dr. Daisy Gonzalez and Marty Alvarado for quick responses to my emails Sunday and yesterday. I can't tell you how appreciative I am of Marty's offer this morning for a meeting with me to discuss this regrettable situation. Sincere thanks. Having said that, it's important for those here today to understand that this change was first made public last Wednesday, January 13th, in a meeting with the Chancellor's Office DSPS unit, when a DSPS faculty member at the meeting who had seen this agenda item asked the unit what was happening. No meaningful explanation or dialogue happened that day. Our DSPS folks need to be able to explain the very specific programmatic and policy tasks that need to occur every year by this group. We need to be able to explain why the monthly hour-line general Zoom meetings are instant and not equivalent to the 5-hour meetings of the regional coordinators with a collaboratively created agenda and minutes. The alternatives to our work group offered will not meet these policy and programmatic discussions and decisions that are needed. No other Chancellor's Office work group, as Bree stated, has civil rights mandated services like DSPS. This group previously was respected for its knowledge of the changing laws, the results of ongoing lawsuits, and Office of Civil Rights decisions that our programs must turn and implement through development of policies and guidance to the field by our regional coordinators in collaboration with the Chancellor's Office. Our field has to be agile, responsive to an organized and documented process. Because Ms. Alvarado offered a meeting this morning with me, I am so hopeful for the opportunity to identify the task products that must come from annual DSPS regional coordinator meetings. I sincerely look forward to the opportunity to report back to our Board of Governors the rest of my meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
Yes, we have two more. Poppy Fitch, you have control of your microphone and you can address the board.
Thank you so much. Hello, trustees, chancellor, and members of the public. My name is Poppy Fitch, and I'm Director of Disability Support Programs and Services for the San Diego Community College District. I first wish to acknowledge the work of the Deputy Chancellor and her team in the development of this handbook. I'm sure a monumental undertaking. I would like to address information item 6.5 and specifically the elimination of the DSPS Regional Coordinators Group. Today, I raise a concern that the DSPS Regional Coordinators and the DSPS field at large were not invited to consult prior to moving forward with a recommendation to disband it. The Regional Coordinators Group collaborate to support students with disabilities through policy and program efforts and expertise that are an essential part of the college efforts on student equity. I respectfully ask deferral of this action item until such time as shared consultation can be undertaken, and trust that with the opportunity to share the functions of the Regional Coordinators Group, the value of that group and its benefits to our students will be clear. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. And just to clarify, this isn't an action item. Obviously, it's an information item, and it will be, their work will continue on this item. So there will be ample opportunity to share your perspective as we move along. But it is not an act. We're not taking an action on this today. Thank you.
The last hand I have raised is Rick Scuderi. You have control of your microphone and you can address the board.
Is he on mute? Or?
So I did give him access, and then I also sent him the Zoom. There we go.
Okay.
Am I clear now?
We can hear you now, Rick. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm Dr. Rick Scuderi, past president of the California Association of Post-Secondary Education and Disability, CAPED for short, and its former legislative committee. But I'm talking here as an individual. It's important here to note that CAPED is an independent private professional organization serving all post-secondary educational settings, but not the official channel for internal input in any one of these post-secondary education settings, nor is it nor a representative of the CC DSP&S field. I agree with everything that's been said here, that there's been no consultation with the DSPS field on item 6.5, and in particular with the DSPS regional coordinators as well. In addition, there has been no consultation with CAPED itself on the status or functioning of the DSPS regional coordinators. I want to clarify this. The Chancellor's Office DSPS unit, with its changing staff and experience, and limited experience with the complex and broad area of disabilities, nonetheless often confer only with a very small number of DSPS field members, and often none whose opinions have been vetted by CAPED. So if these are CAPED members that are doing this, then they're not vetted by the CAPED Governing Board Executive Committee. And this is a procedure necessary for representing CAPED on discussions on this important matter, such as the status of DSPS regional coordinators. There's been no item that has been presented to the CAPED Governing Board for vetting regarding this issue. And the members of the governing board of CAPED are shocked to see it. In addition, the DSPS regional coordinators themselves has no opportunity to participate within the consultation. And they were shocked and blindsided as well that this item was placed without the, and they also have been frustrated that the DSPS unit has not called a regional coordinators meeting in a year.
30 seconds.
Yes, a duty the unit took over at that time. Although the regional coordinators met informally by themselves to speak about the allocation formula's effect on DSPS field. The disability regional coordinators are eager now and hopeful that they can be consulted with. They've done wonderful work, would like to work with the CCO to continue that organized, effective work that they've done so well since the inception of DSPS programs. So I'm
That would
opposed.
be time.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Can I assume that that is the end of public comment on this item?
Yes, you're correct.
All right. Thank you so much for all of the comments, and I'm certain that staff has taken notes and will work with the parties that made comments. So we're now down to 6.6, which is the board members' reports. I'm going to ask, unless you have a burning desire, I mean, really burning, would recognize your hand. We do have to go to public forum, but I do want to give anyone an opportunity to make a quick report if there's something that you really need to speak to. I don't see any hands raised. If I'm incorrect, somebody better yell, because I'm going to move to public.
Ah, I yelled.
All right, so can you please keep it as short as possible, Calm?
Absolutely. And I'm sorry to be that guy.
Okay. I know.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I appreciate it. I just wanted to speak very briefly to kind of a movement going on and been gathering some momentum. I want to bring obviously the board's attention to it. And this is the movement around student trustee for rights. This is something that the Student Senate for California Community Colleges has been pushing for about a year now. It accumulated into a bill, AB 2910, which was authored by then Assemblywoman Berman, who has now moved on to a bigger and better role as Secretary of State. And the Student Senate plans on revitalizing this bill. And the reason I'm bringing it forward and just making sure we're all aware of it is because I hope to reintroduce the topic when the Student Senate gets another author. But the idea essentially is that, as we talked about earlier, leadership, the student perspective is a critical policy-making tool in the California community colleges. And the idea here is that there are many institutions, many districts right now that neglect to empower their student trustees with any privileges at all. There are many student trustees right now who are destined to silence. And when I say student trustee, of course, I'm talking about there's a student on every single district governing board, 73 district governing boards. I think that it is critical that this Board of Governors lead on an issue like this, that we make a stand, like in our legislative principle that we talked about earlier, the student leadership principle, that we make a stand when it comes time. I hope that we will get behind what we've already determined as necessary, which is that the student perspective has to be a part of the decision-making processes of this system if we are to achieve true student success and equity. So, I won't go too in depth, knowing that we're pressed on time, but again, I will be, obviously bringing this back once the bill is reintroduced, and I hope that this board will strongly consider taking up the charge and leading issues of student empowerment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Board Member Fitzgerald. We're now going to go to public forum.
Okay, I currently have 6 hands up. We will start with Lori Petite. You have control of your mic and can unmute and address the board.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, President Haynes, Vice President Costa, Chancellor Oakley, and esteemed members of the Board of Governors. My name is Lori Petite, Academic Senate President for Sacramento City College. My comments today are in reference to a statement submitted by Sacramento City College faculty on competency-based education regulations, which were highlighted at the November Board of Governors meeting. On behalf of our faculty, I'd like to address an apparent misunderstanding over the comments submitted. SCC faculty are concerned that the Chancellor's Office included a summary of their comments rather than their original statement in its entirety. Unfortunately, it appears that the summary resulted in a mischaracterization of our faculty members' statements, as well as their intent. Specific concern has been noted over a comment in the summary, which includes the phrase, "students lack." I'd like to clarify that this statement does not appear in the original document, nor does it reflect our faculty's intent. Also noted in the summary is a rebuttal against what is termed a, quote, deficit-minded ideology that disproportionately impacted students cannot handle CBE because they lack the motivation and background to do so. Again, I would like to emphasize that this statement does not appear in the original source document, nor does it reflect the intent of our faculty. I can affirm that the SCC faculty listed are all known equity champions at our college. Having personally worked with many of them, I believe the summarized comments do not reflect their intent nor ideology. As discussions on competency-based education move forward, I respectfully request that our Board of Governors rely on our faculty's original statements as input, not the summarized comments, which do not accurately represent our faculty's viewpoints or concerns. A number of the signatories to the original document are here today to offer their public comments on the item as well. We appreciate the vital work that the Board of Governors is engaged in on behalf of our students, and thank you for your consideration and your time today. Thank you again.
Thank you for your comment.
Next, we have Katie Carberry. You have control of your mic and can address the board.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, President Haynes, Vice President Costa, Chancellor Oakley, and esteemed members of the board. I'm Dr. Katie Carberry, faculty member at Sacramento City College. A summary of a letter from several faculty at Sacramento City College regarding direct assessment competency-based education was presented at your November meeting. As the first author of that letter, I'm attending today's meeting to respectively make a comment about that summary. We were surprised to learn that the summary had paraphrased our letter as saying that disproportionately impacted students, quote unquote, lack the motivation and familiarity with academic expectations to do well in competency-based programs. While we are sympathetic to how someone might have misinterpreted one of our paragraphs in that way, we feel that item 3 of the summary takes our words out of context and doesn't represent our intended meaning. We did not use the word lack, and it wasn't our intention to imply that disproportionately impacted students lack these qualities. We have each been personally invested in equity work at Sacramento City College from the first day of our employment. So we were deeply concerned to learn that a summary of our comments was disparaging to our disproportionately impacted students. We regret that the summary was offensive to the esteemed members of the board and others in attendance at the November meeting. We are also saddened by the negative light that this casts on Sacramento City College, and would like to express our regret about this misunderstanding. We trust that the esteemed Board of Governors acts with the best interests of our students in mind as you balance many perspectives on often contentious issues. We had merely hoped that by voicing our concerns about competency-based programs, equity issues would be fully considered as part of the decision-making process. Thank you for your time and consideration. I appreciate the opportunity to make these comments.
Thank you.
Our next commenter is Belinda Lum. You have control of your mic and can address the board.
Good evening, President Haynes, Vice President Costa, Chancellor Oakley, and members of the Board of Governors. I am also a signatory to the original letter and believe the Chancellor's Office summary of our comments do not reflect our statement nor our intent. And while I know that we are short on time, so I'll keep my comments short, I would like to really encourage the Board of Governors to go back and read our original letter, because we believe that as part of the respectful dialogue that happens in these public spaces, and as we discuss the important options in front of us regarding equity, that all voices should be heard in accurate ways. So while we regret the way in which it was received, we really hope that everyone will continue to look at those original comments. And also, as we move forward, we hope that these summaries will better reflect sort of the comments that were originally written. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Halsey Boyd. You have control of your mic and can address the board.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Well, good evening, President Haynes, Vice President Costa, Chancellor Oakley, and esteemed members of the Board of Governors. My name is Halsey Boyd. I'm a math and statistics faculty at Sacramento City College, and I am also here to comment on the November meeting in reference to the statements submitted by faculty related to competency-based education regulations. The summarized comments in that November meeting are not the words we put forth. Item 3 in particular used the word lack, which doesn't even exist in our original submitted comments if you search for the word. Sacramento City College is an amazing institution that has programs such as the new Faculty Academy and the Teachers for Equity programs. These programs immerse our new and interested faculty in equity work, and every one of the persons that added their voices and names to our submitted letter are deeply devoted to equity. We are saddened that our institution, founded by a woman, Belle Coolidge, in 1916, with an all-female class as the first graduates, was put into a negative light. and that all of us champions of equity are also associated with these summarized comments. We regret that the summary was offensive to the esteemed members of the board and those others in attendance. We were also offended by the wording of the summarized comments. Please know that the summarized comments, especially item 3 with its deficit mindset bend, are not our own words. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Next, we have Tony Newman. You have control of your mic and can address the board.
Hi, thank you. I'm Tony Newman, and I am a faculty member, DSPS coordinator at Sacramento City College, and I too am one of the signatories of the original document. And I'm here for a very brief comment, just to say that I support my colleagues. I wanted to put on record that I support and agree with my colleagues' comments today, and I just wanted to be here to be supportive. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we have Adrian Chevreau Fitzhugh. You have control of your mic and can address the board.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Dear President Haynes, Vice President Costa, Chancellor Oakley, and esteemed members of the board. My name is Adrian Chevreau Fitzhugh from Sacramento City College, where I teach the sociology department and serve as department chair and faculty research coordinator. I'm here with my colleagues to express my alarm at how the intent and specific phrasing of our letter regarding competency-based education was relayed at the November board meeting. As fellow advocates for our students and the vital role that the community college plays in our local communities and the country as a whole, we try and do the best we can to support our students, often relying on experience and research, which is never perfect, but always striving to provide a better and more fulfilling community college experience. It was this passion, and certainly not a lack of care or a belief in a student deficit mindset, that spurred the sharing of our concerns. I'm particularly dismayed that the letter was interpreted to suggest that its authors believe that disproportionately impacted students are less capable. I found my calling both to my discipline of sociology and my career in teaching at a community college because I think that these students have a tremendous capacity. I believe that the students I've had the good fortune to work with in the community college, and especially those of underrepresented groups, are the future of social, economic, and environmental justice. And I find myself constantly humbled to see the dynamic and uncompromising ways that these students navigate the world. Although it borders on a cliche, when I work with these students, I see a better future. I share this because I know that each of my signatory colleagues comes from a similar place of dedication and utmost respect for the students and community that we are honored to work with. Thank you for your time and commitment to our students and incredible college system.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other?
There is. I have one more hand up, and then I will pass it over to Christina for a summary of email comments that we had received. Karen Turcho, you have control of your mic and you can address the board.
Can you hear me, everyone?
You should speak up just a little bit.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Good evening, President Haynes, Vice President Costa, Chancellor Oakley, and esteemed members of the board. I'm Karen Turco. I'm a public services librarian and library department chair at Sacramento City College, also a signatory to that original letter, and I'm here in support of my colleagues' comments. I also believe that the summary of our letter presented at the November meeting did not represent our intended meaning, and that was disheartening. Language is so important. As such, I hope that our comments today will help clear any misunderstanding about our commitment to equity-minded pedagogy and our steadfast commitment to serving our California Community College students. Thanks to the board for your commitment and to our students as well, and for your time.
Thank you for your comment. So,
Thank you.
Christina, I think you have a couple of other comments and then we can adjourn.
Yes, please. I wanted to let you know that the board received an amount of 149 public comments with the same letter, with the topic being Peralta Community College District is on the right track and does not need a special trustee. It has been reported and it will be noted on our meeting notes for this meeting.
Perfect. Any other comments that you need to let us know?
No, President Haynes, thank you.
All right, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Somebody.
Costa moves.
Second.
Okay, I'm sorry. We are adjourning at 5:32, but I think we had a full, and we paid attention to all of the issues that we needed to. So thank you so much and have a wonderful evening and the rest of the week. We are now adjourned.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us. This concludes the meeting of the Board of Governors.